Well, it's been a long journey. I keep getting called a new artist, but it's definitely not true. I was an independent artist for about 6 years. Just kind of, doing the slog, playing the small cafes and then the slightly bigger cafes, and just kind of been making my own albums for quite a while. And then earlier this year I signed with Warner Brothers Records after making my latest album, Chase the Sun. I recorded it in Los Angeles with a guy called Greg Wells. I made it independently. I paid for it myself, and then knew that I was gonna kind of put it through, find a good home for it, basically. Because what I didn't want to do is be kind of restricted to making an album that a label wanted me to make. So I made the album that I wanted to make, and then I found a label who liked it, and thankfully I did. So it's very unpredictable right now. The whole streaming model is changing everything for independent artists, because when I was independent I could pay my bills from iTunes, but not really. It doesn't really work that way anymore. You don't really get those kind of sales checks anymore. So it's a very interesting time. It's very people are figuring out new ways to make money, and not that it's about money, but it's about being able to sustain yourself so you can keep doing it. So everything is very unpredictable right now. Well, some of my biggest influences are people like Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen. And I think all of those people have something in common, because they don't necessarily always just sing about the typical things. They're not necessarily hook driven. They're more about like what they actually say in the lyrics. And for me, that was always really important about music, is to say something important. I wish I had some cool story where I said I did like handstands backstage or something, but I don't. I kind of sit there and twiddle my thumbs and just hope that people are there and people are enjoying it. I like it when there's a good amount of people there, but it's small enough that people are there, they're listening, and it's an intimate crowd, an attentive crowd. But it's not enjoyable playing in front of a handful of people. But also when you play like the bigger stages, you feel kind of disconnected. So I like the kind of smaller clubs. The most enjoyable part is playing live, for sure. This is Greg Holden, and you're watching Grammy Pro.